Part 8, man. Alright, so look. That is it in a nutshell, and I want to at least stop at like 8 or 9. Because there are other topics I want to talk about, and then I want to get back to making stupid TikToks. But, yeah. How long are you going to let it weigh you down? Man, you just don't understand. You don't feel like I feel, man. I'm tired, man. I've been through this, I've been through that. I done said all of it. Bro. Let me get sis, bro. Let me give you not a shortcut. Oh, there we go again. Not a shortcut. Not a shortcut. But let me speed up the process for you. Because we in the last days. Let me speed up the process for you so you don't waste as much time as I did. You have to you have to start looking at your feeling, your the way your situation. You gotta kind of step outside of yourself and look at it from a third person's perspective, like you watching yourself. But who's the second person? The second person is that spirit that's trying to attack you. You have to sit up there and seems crazy, but you ain't crazy nowadays. Those feelings of that feeling of depression and your low self-esteem and these thoughts and these feelings that the way you down, you have to give them their own identity and stop allowing them to manipulate yours. Now, let me say that again. You have to give that spirit its own identity and stop allowing it to manipulate yours. As in, I feel like this, but just because I feel like this does not mean that I am this. And who is this that has me feeling like this? It's not about the person. You're not dealing with flesh and blood. You're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but spiritual weakness, principalities, spiritual wickedness. Let's stop right there. Because a lot of y'all, that's your lane. Just the spiritual wickedness with the people that you deal with. Trust me, don't ask for more. If it's for you, it's for you. But don't ask for more. Tackle this. You gotta stop looking at the people that did this, that, and the other to you like they did it to you, and start looking for the spirit that operates in them, or the spirit for some people that they operate in. Because some people are conscious and know what they do to you. Even family members. You don't know what go on behind closed doors. What kind of deals and pacts and Faustian agreements and you don't know what folks did behind closed doors. You'd be surprised. This spiritual warfare. You gotta reconnect with yourself. You gotta understand, like I said in the previous video, you gotta understand that you gotta love yourself despite your flaws. Love you and yourself and your flaws, and start loving yourself so much to where you need to change, and you want to change this because you love yourself too much to continue to view yourself a certain way, to continue to talk about yourself in a certain way, your self-dialogue in your head, to continue to believe what other people say to you. You got to start recognize those spirits for what they are. You got to recognize the spirit for what it is. And you got to fight. You got to fight. People gonna act up. People gonna act up. People gonna act up. But a lot of y'all, God said a lot. He said a lot. Yeah. Need to bring it all the way down to accountability. Need to bring it all the way down to accountability. Because if you ain't checked yourself and did self-reflection and worked on yourself first and worked on making yourself a good person, nobody's good. Nobody's good. This whole process is just not going to work without God. I don't care what you believe. It's just not going. You're going to always have that void that can easily be filled by any other spirit but God if you don't have God. If you don't seek his face. I'm not getting into preaching, but I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. You can't do it without God. You can't, you never gonna find your peace in your spirit. I'm not talking about your surroundings in your daily life. You're never gonna find your peace in your spirit without God. It was hard for me. I always knew God. I wouldn't serve anybody else. But I ain't always trusted God because I allowed the things that men and women, man, the race of man, human, or whatever you want to say, but I allowed man and what man has done to me and what man has done to me through the spirits that operate through them and the spirits that they operate in. I allowed man to affect my trust in God. Not saying I didn't believe in God. Not saying I didn't know God was real. But trust. And you have to align. I didn't want to get into this, but he's saying you have to align yourself. It got to be in your heart. It's not what you do. It's going to be many people that come before God and say, Lord, Lord, I did this in your name. I did that in your name. They skip over that part. It's going to be many people that come before God in judgment. Because ain't nobody going to be with your family, your fraternities, your homeboys, your gang, your children. Nobody's going to be with you in judgment. And for all them folks that want to believe it ain't no such thing as judgment, them folks is real questionable. Because some folks needed to not be no God. So they don't have to give account to all the bullshit that got them fucked up inside. Everything looked good on the outside, but they tore up inside. They needed to not be no God. But for you that's trying to heal, you need God. Well, it's always gonna be that void. I'm not saying you ain't gonna find happiness, but that true inner peace, you ain't gonna find it without God. I'm trying to tell you. And back to accountability, before you start tackling the spirits, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing until you tackle yourself. You are your own worst enemy. You are your own biggest enemy. I am my biggest enemy. I am my biggest enemy. You are your biggest enemy. But you got to be real with yourself. That's the problem. Everybody be too worried about trying to fit in. I had a homeboy tell me, oh, he had got the jail. The reason he got the jail, he was like, I'm like, bro, don't you know, woo, woo, woo. And like, we done already followed up on everything. He was like, yeah, I know, but I ain't want nobody looking at me because I ain't get it. Where we at? Part 9? Accountability. Part 9. Yeah.